My platform's on my website if you have any questions.
Why do you think you should be running for mayor of San Francisco?
Because Gavin Newsom represents big business, downtown interests, and not the people of San Francisco. And it's time for a change, it's time for democracy, and it's time to stir shit up because things have been quiet for too long.
What kind of shit do you want to stir up?
Bring to light the rampant nepotism, no-bid contracts, the disaster that is Hunters Point and how the city continues to neglect it. I mean, the whole Southeast Quadrant is basically the same story as what we did to the Native Americans as a country. We've done to the African-American population of San Francisco and are continuing to do in Hunters Point. We take them over to this industrial polluted area after we redeveloped the Western Addition and kicked them out. Then once we start to realize that that's some prime real estate, we start to build projects for how to gentrify the area, which are this contract managed by Lennar. Now Lennar's vice president is a guy named Lawrence Pelosi, or was a guy named Lawrence Pelosi. Lawrence Pelosi's cousin is Gavin Newsom. Lawrence Pelosi's aunt is Nancy Pelosi, so it all runs in the family. So some people think that because I haven't worked as a city supervisor, never served on the Board of Education, wasn't elected to the DCCC, that I'm not qualified to run for mayor of San Francisco. But the reality is that if San Francisco is ready for a change, and I believe they are, and if we want to build a new city and a new democracy, perhaps the best approach to that is to elect someone who has experience working in the city as an activist, but isn't caught up in the system that continues to develop and plague our city. Maybe someone who's a complete outsider can introduce new ideas, bring people together who otherwise might not be interested in determining the future of San Francisco, and really develop a city that serves all of us. So I ran into this homeless guy about a month ago, and he needed about $9 or $4 or something to get into an SRO apartment, and was also hungry. So I bought him a slice of pizza, gave him the money he needed to get into the apartment, and was like, this is an investment. I want you to tell people that I'm running for mayor and encourage them to vote for me. And I ran into him a few hours ago at the Civic Center BART station, and he explained to me that he had printed 1,000 flyers to promote my campaign. We need a city with fresh ideas, and there's a lot of young people that are ready for that, as well as old people that have seen over the years how what's been the system doesn't really build any change. It's just the same faces suggesting the same solutions time in and time out. I think we need to develop a sunshine government. You've heard about like how there's the shadow government that Dick Cheney's got waiting in the wings when he declares martial law and suddenly there's a new fascist state come down the pike. Well, we need a sunshine government so that every single policy that goes across the board's desk or any city commission's desk can be weighed by the people of San Francisco. We can take, you know, ad hoc polls, straw polls, referendums about these issues. And we don't even necessarily need to make it an official part of government right now, but we need to create a means for the people of San Francisco to voice in, enter a conversation around the issues they care about, as opposed to simply speaking before public comment, as I'm about to do in front of the tax commission right now, where you're literally like speaking to a wall. Now those meetings are currently being broadcast on television, but if you want to break them down and post the important parts on YouTube, you gotta wait about 2 weeks, 3 weeks before they're made available online. We need to get rid of that time gap. We need to be streaming live online and providing MPEG-4 videos to download right away so that you can start editing and excerpting important things about city government when it happens and not 2 weeks later. I don't really have any native political aspirations if I'm elected mayor. I certainly don't see myself going into any other office. But I'm running because I feel that San Francisco is one of the only places in the country, or it is the only place in the country, it is a unique city, and that Gavin Newsom in the current political system is threatening to sell it off and turn it into another Miami. And the idea that that would be happening without anyone standing up to fight is just deplorable and frightening, and I just had to join the race. I'm Josh Wolf, and I approve this message. Now, what were you gonna put together here, Flux?